Top 5 programming languages for you to learn to get a job in 2024 without needing a college degree. And the last one is the absolute craziest one. I can't wait to tell you about it. Now, I've done videos on this exact topic for the last 5 years in a row, and we've gotten millions of views, and we've helped thousands to hundreds of thousands of people get into the career of tech and land jobs as developers. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the video, I do want to let you know that if you want to become a developer, you want to master AI and ChatGPT, because these are the modern tools that we all need to learn. And you want to know how you can get a high-paying job where you can make 6 figures or beyond as a developer, especially moving in 2024 with AI and ChatGPT changing the entire landscape. This training that I've made is for you, and it is for complete beginners or if you have more experience as a developer. This training will walk you through your exact roadmap on how you can become successful. I'll show you 3 app ideas with AI and ChatGPT that you could build and how you could get started with all of that today. It's a short training that'll absolutely blow your mind. So what I recommend you do is go click the link below and check that training out and sign up for it. It's a life-changing training. With that out of the way, let's continue. So we're gonna be ranking these programming languages on 3 main factors. Factor number 1, the learning time. How long does it take you to learn this programming language? Essentially, how easy is it? Factor number 2, we're gonna rank it on demand and salary, meaning how much do you get paid for these languages to learn? And what is the demand? Meaning how many job opportunities are out there? And is this something that's growing or dying? And factor number 3 is productivity. Meaning if you learn this language, how quickly can you start building apps? How quickly can you get to the end result? And so that's what we're gonna cover on point number 3. Now again, wait till you hear the last one, because I promise you nobody's talking about this and nobody in any of their videos has mentioned this for number 1, but I will, so it'll blow your mind. Let's start. Number 5, Java. Java powers over 3 billion Android devices. It's the 7th most popular language on Stack Overflow. The average salary of a Java developer is $117,000 per year. According to Indeed.com, there are 21,000 job openings currently, which means there's a ton of jobs. Java's community is banging. There's about 7 million active developers in Java right now. So if you need help with anything related to Java, you'll most certainly be able to get it. And popular companies like Google, eBay, and Amazon use Java, and a lot of other companies. The drawback of Java and why it's ranked number 5 and not number 1 is it is much more difficult to learn. It uses object-oriented programming, which is much harder to pick up. And honestly, most of the coding is leaning away from it, going into functional programming now. And the other con is that, look, if you're doing Java development, you're contributing to the world of those nasty green SMS text messages that we hate seeing. So do yourself a favor, and if you're gonna go Java, instead just go Swift and build for iOS and Macs, because that's what actually matters. I know I just burned 99% of my audience, but I don't care. I am a hardcore Apple fan, and so I will say it because my platform. Let's continue. Number 4, Typescript. This programming language is built on top of JavaScript, which is one of the most popular programming languages. Typescript developers on average make around $129,000 a year or more. Job opportunity is a ton with Typescript. There's currently 17,000 jobs available right now. Typescript is used by massive companies like GitHub, Slack, and Microsoft. What Typescript is most known for is building web applications. One cool thing about Typescript is that if you look on Stack Overflow, it's one of the most loved programming languages in the world, and it is largely growing. The reason why it's number 4 and not number 1 is because it is harder to learn than JavaScript, because in order to learn TypeScript, you have to actually learn JavaScript first, because JavaScript is actually a subset of TypeScript. So there's a lot more to learn. It is a bit more difficult, and you have to learn about how to use types in your coding, which not everybody wants to learn, because as developers, we just want to continue building and not do a lot of the other work like adding type safety, which is actually one of the best features and use cases of TypeScript. Meaning, practically speaking, if I was to explain to you in plain English, is that yes, when you're making your code safer, While it is annoying, eventually you will end up saving a ton of time because you won't run into the same bugs that you would have ran into had you used some other programming language that doesn't have type safety baked into it. Number 3, Python. This is one of my personal favorites. This is also the first love of my life, the first programming language I learned, and the first programming language I used to get my first job and start making 6 figures as a developer within my first year. Python is most known for things like data science, data analytics, or scripting and automating. The cool thing is that Python is also multi-purpose, which means you could do a lot of web development with it too using Django and Flask. In fact, some of the biggest companies in the world use Python, like Spotify, Google, Quora, Dropbox, and many, many others. It's one of the easiest programming languages to learn. It has been growing for the last decade and it continues to keep on growing. And the community for Python is also massive. According to ZipRecruiter, the average salary of a Python developer is $148,000 per year. So if you chose Python, you can't really go that wrong. Number 2, JavaScript. Now, I know this is crazy because the last many years, I actually put JavaScript number 1, which is why I want you to stick around to the end of the video to find out what is actually number 1. But JavaScript is one of the most popular languages used almost everywhere in the world, every single website you go to, and JavaScript is most known for its web development. JavaScript is used by Google, Spotify, Quora, many companies, almost every single company in the world. GitHub, Slack, Reddit, whatever you can think of is using JavaScript right now. As long as it's a web app, it is using JavaScript pretty much guaranteed. Whether you watch Netflix or you're viewing this video on YouTube, you're using JavaScript. Without that, you wouldn't be able to watch this video, watch Netflix, watch your favorite TV shows on Hulu or whatever other platform you use. Job roles for JavaScript are front-end developer, back-end developer, full-stack developer, and hell, data scientists, any of those other ones too. But again, it's mostly known for web development. Average full-stack developer salary is around $117,000 per year. Now, when I say average, that doesn't mean that's your first job ever. If you're a junior developer, meaning your first job, you're looking at realistically making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. A lot of our people that we actually help get jobs, most of them on average land their first job for $79,000 and around $800, meaning about $80,000 is the median salary. We've helped countless hundreds of developers help land at software developer companies. So this is why I chose JavaScript to be one of the most populars and put it at number 2. And here is the big one, the one that you've been waiting for. Drum rolls, please. Number 1 programming language in the world right now is English. This caught you off guard, I know. And by English, I mean the language of your choice, whatever tongue that you speak in. Why? Because ChatGPT and AI is here, which means that if you go to ChatGPT and tell it what you want it to build, it will build it for you. Do you want it to build a to-do list app? Do you want it to build a front-end app, a back-end app, an app like Slack? Whatever you want it to build, with enough guidance and prompt engineering and instruction, you could get it to build that. Before, back in the day, we used to have, our laptop, we had to focus on how the electricity is moving through our laptop, right? People had to learn that in order to be able to build a laptop. But once you have a laptop, you don't need to know all of that stuff because now we can interface with the laptop by just pressing buttons, right? We don't need to learn how the electricity in our wires are moving. Before, we used to be able to walk and just had walking. Then we had horses, and then we got cars, right? So we had assembly programming language back in the day, which we can still use obviously, but that's what people use all the time. Then we got something that made it easier and went higher level, which was JavaScript. And now we got something even higher than that. So we went from horse, think of JavaScript as a horse, think of assembly language as walking, and think of a car. Think of English as a car, meaning now we could talk to ChatGPT and operate at the speed of a car, meaning we could talk to ChatGPT and operate at the speed of a team of developers by giving it the right things to ask to build. Now it's more like you're a CEO of a company, you have a bunch of junior developers and you give them direction on what to build. And if they make mistakes, you go in, you fix a bug here and there, for which you still need to know some programming and some understanding of how it works, of course. But largely you could actually give it to ChatGPT. And I'm speaking from experience, so not some random influencer who's just making another video on this, because I built my own apps. In the last couple of months, I took a month hiatus, went completely dark, built my own SaaS MVP for a tool. I built an AI tool that could take video clips. You give it a long form video podcast, 2 hours long. It will automatically cut and find all the clips for you using AI. And I built that heavily with ChatGPT. To put it in perspective, that's something I normally, because I've hired a lot of software developers to work on my team, I would have paid $60,000 to about 4 or 5 developers over the span of 3 months. But that app I built by myself alone in 1 month. I still had to spend a lot of time, a couple of 100 hours, but I built it in 1 month alone for free using ChatGPT and AI. So this opportunity is literally a once in a lifetime opportunity, because this invention is the same big breakthrough we had when we discovered electricity. And then after electricity, the big breakthrough we had was we discovered the internet. And after the internet, since the internet, the biggest innovation we've had by far is ChatGPT. This is why I'm taking hundreds of students and having them go through my Profit with AI and ChatGPT course, where we're showing them how to build apps even if they have very little experience coding. I have a ton of people who are very sophisticated in different industries: product manager, marketing operations, some people who are software developers, a bunch of people who are just looking to learn how to code, and everybody in between. And these people are saying that they're building their first app within 5 minutes in the course. I have people building their first app and even learning how to sell it within their first 1 to 2 days of being inside of this course. So if you are interested in learning how to build these apps and learning what kind of AI apps you can build, learning how you can monetize it, learning that is it even possible for you to do all of this with little to no experience, then here's what I recommend. I've put together a webinar for you, a training, a video training below in the description. Go ahead, click it, and jump into that, because I want to show you how you can use English or your native tongue to build mind-blowing apps within 10 to 20 minutes that you could show off to your friends, that could help you land a promotion, that could help you land your dream job and have a successful career, that could take you from being one of those people that gets replaced to being somebody who has enough skill that is irreplaceable. So the AI is coming, is going to be taking a lot of jobs. And the only question is, are you going to be somebody who knows how to use it and are going to be irreplaceable? Or are you going to be somebody who makes it go by the wayside, ignores it, and is the one that ends up getting replaced? So if you want to be on the right side of the history, I highly recommend click the link below, join the training. It's only 19 minutes long and it has the power to change your entire life, and it's completely free. I forgot to mention that this free training that I've put together for you, you don't have to pay anything for it. So go ahead, sign up for it. I want to see you inside that training, and I think it will absolutely blow your mind. With that said, I hope this video was informative to you and it showed you why I ordered the languages in the way that I ordered, and that the opportunity lies with the people now who learn how to use AI, ChatGPT, to be able to build apps and profit with it. And I'll also show you how to make money with it. So sign up for that training. I love your face. This is Kazi. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.